So that was part of my lawsuit. So I'm going, oh, I know where this is going. Because Arizona is the last primary in the nation. We're in mid-September. You know, we got 7 weeks for our general. I go, he's not going to be able to get on, boy. You're going to fix it now. So all this is going on. So I had a very close-up view of what the kind of people that were motivated just with the hint of an opportunity to go F you to the man and use Perot as their vehicle without knowing what a little mini fascist he was. Now, of course, later they'd find out. But it was just this pent-up thing. That's why in '94 you had the contract with America. That's where the Republicans going, we're going to do all this stuff. And what did they actually do? The only government they eliminated was $135,000 for some tea inspector out of New York. Remember that? Just so they can say they did. This is the kind of crap, you know, that I grew up in. So I'm going, okay, 1996. It's time to get serious, man. We're going to do some rock and roll. We're going to hardcore principles. 2 years we've had that we are kicking butt in Arizona, having a good old time. Getting a lot of national attention. People are paying attention. Rick Tompkins, state chair, you know, he's going to run for president because of one reason. There was a big push for Brown to take matching funds, federal matching funds. Regardless of what your opinion on that was, it was freaking way big deal to us. We're going, man, once you do this, we know what's going to happen. You're going, you think you're down the dark side now? You just wait. You start getting federal money to give money to these guys that do the kind of stuff to Angela and Lee. So I'm going, no. So our whole thing was no federal matching funds for libertarian candidates. So we're in Washington, D.C., 1996. Independence Day, the movie came out. Remember that? Boom, blowing up the White House. Okay? We're in Washington, D.C. We're going to go see that, man. We're going, yeah. They cut that scene really fast. Boom, boom, done, next scene. I'm like, whoa, we need to get a chance to cheer on that. I kind of cut that one, didn't you? So we're there in Washington, D.C. We're speaking, it's 4th of July weekend. We're speaking before, you know, tens of thousands of people, a couple of different events, you know, we have, you know, going. We had some fun with that. And the whole thing was, it gets to the point where Harry Brown's up there and they ask him, you know, I like Harry fine. He spoke at one of our Freedom Summits before, I'll get into later, and so he's all right guy. But, you know, these guys that, you know, run these machines as these fundraiser mechanisms, and man, they're, oh, long story. Anyway, so we go to the convention in '96. He gets up and he goes, the first question they ask in the debate for the presidential candidates is, what's your position on taking matching funds? Well, I wrote a book. You should read my book. Everybody knows my position on this. It's in my book. Read my book. Next question. Okay? We're going, he didn't say it. So me and Bob Anderson, a friend of mine from Arizona, we're going, say it, say it, say it, say it, and wouldn't stop. Finally, the whole convention, say it, say it, say it. How many of you were at the '96 convention? You guys remember that? And then Brown goes, I will not take federal matching funds. Yeah! The whole thing. Freaking erupted. We're done. Good. Okay, we can go home now. We're finished. That was our goal in '96, is to make sure that didn't happen just so we could extend this libertarian, no compromise thing a little bit longer. Now, of course, there are some people of the opinion going, see, you're the ones that stunted it. You screwed it up. We could have had all that money and done whatever with it. Well, I disagree, but, you know, go get active. So in 2000, then we're going to Anaheim. Because of that, and Lee and Angela's thing, you know, they understand where this comes from. In 2000, you know, they're targeting Arizona now. We're getting most of the press. We're hardcore, no compromise. All kinds of stuff is happening coming out of Arizona. In their minds, they believe that if they can just get the shiny badge, that all that funds, all that support, all that attention, all that stuff will go to them. Hey, well, we're the one wearing the shiny badge now. Give us the money. We had a headquarters that we opened in '94. It was supposed to be for just 7 months. It wound up staying open for 2.5 years. You know, and when the internet really started to hit, we didn't need it anymore. The first email that I got when we did this one is good. Email. You young guys don't even know what it's like not to have email. You know, we had fax trees. You know, we would get stuff and we would fax it to a few people that had a couple hundred numbers overnight, and they'd get branched down. And we were doing dumpster diving and political headquarters. We learned that from Tamara Clark out of, you know, Vegas. She came down, and some of you guys may remember who she was. She goes, we were at our headquarters, and all of a sudden we see this VW bug with a bunch of trash bags on it, you know, squealing out of the parking lot. Like, what the hell was that? She goes, they're dumpster diving you, boy, man. You don't know squat. She goes, get in the truck. We all jump in the back of her pickup truck. She wanted to know. She came down from Vegas to help with John Buttrick's gubernatorial campaign. She goes, where's the Republican Party headquarters? Well, it's over there, you know. Here we go. And she goes, there's a line waiting to get in their trash. No, they didn't wait for us. We were like third in line. Okay. We get in there. This is what we found. They print out, you know, on these, the dot matrix, you know, the green stripe stuff. And if it's shifted or if they got a database on mailing levels and it messes up, you know, they just chuck it in the trash and do it again. So we got the full list. We got a list with fax numbers in Washington, all this stuff. So we're putting them in our fax tree. We're sending all these Kyle things, you know, out and so on. They're starting to complain on radio. No, we're just going, ka-ching. So the people that do, when the media starts complaining about how crazy and wacko you are, go, you spelled it right, right? Okay? Now we're all good. Because what happened in the beginning back here, you couldn't say, they couldn't write my name without saying, gun-toting, dope-smoking, tie-dye wearing, hippie son bitch Ernest Hancock libertarian says, okay? You had to have at least 3 adjectives. Well, now it's just libertarian Ernest Hancock. I mean, they kind of know it says the same thing anyway. So I'm just going, you know, I'm going, you guys, as long as you spell it right, I don't care. And that's the deal I had with the reporters. They knew their job depended on not giving me too much goodie. So they'll go, as long as they put a bunch of adjectives in front of my name and I'm a bad guy, I got my name, the libertarian, and whatever the issue was out there, which was our goal. When you're self-confident enough and your friends know you and so on, you don't care what the they don't even remember 2 weeks later anyway. But they remember the issue. That's why we were so successful. We didn't care what the media said because we knew they were not our friends. So then you go, 1996, we go to the convention, we get that taken care of. It's 2000. It's 2000. We go to Anaheim. And by then, they wanted to get rid of this Arizona thing. National attacked Arizona just like, you know, they do other places and individuals and so on. They got disaffiliate with you, all this kind of stuff. We're like, yeah, whatever, you know, we'll defend the party against the incursions of, because it says right here in our bylaws we're supposed to. Nah, we don't really care, okay? They come after us. We win the lawsuit, and we tell them, look, if you guys do this and try and say we want to affiliate with this other group that would do the universal membership program, which we would never do, okay? We wouldn't have anything to do with that. You mean we're going to send our people in Arizona money to Washington, D.C. collective to be redistributed back to... Nah, that's probably a bad idea. Yeah, but it's for the, whatever. It's another collective in Washington, D.C. Something in the water there, okay? So we don't want to play. We're doing fine. So then what happens is they need to get us. So they go through lawsuits and attack, and eventually we win. Okay, it's our party. You affiliated with this other group out of Tucson. The lawyer down there. It's a long story. Doesn't matter. They affiliated with them. We told them if you do this, our bylaws do not allow us to affiliate with a party that has another affiliate in the state. I mean, we can't. You'll lose ballot status in Arizona. We went to the Anaheim, before the Anaheim convention, a few weeks before, they had the executive committee meetings, the national committee meetings there, and we're going, made this presentation. You guys understand what's going to happen here. Not only are you wrong, Mary Ruart was there, and Lark, and a lot of these guys, they knew. Dosbach, they knew our arguments. So then they go, yeah, well, life sucks. Boom. The other guys, they lose. Harry Brown was on 49 states in 2000. Arizona had L. Neil Smith as president and Vince Brenowitz as VP. A lot of you guys don't know that. They're not publicizing it anywhere. So we told them, we said, look, you want to be saying you got 50 states where you have a libertarian, for president, to vote for, fine. Don't say Harry Brown has 50 state ballot stats. We'll be real buttheads about it. So we go to Anaheim. We sat with Pennsylvania. We had, during the nominating, when they count the votes for whatever, they said, and L. Neil Smith gets such and such whatever. We were sitting with Pennsylvania. We had kilts on, had our face half blue, Arizona flags. Remember that? We were just like, yeah, your mom. Okay? Because the point, and then what did they do? Orange County Register, front page, it had Harry Brown that said, people from Arizona supporting Harry. Had a picture of us holding Arizona flags in our kilts like we were supporting Brown. We're like, yeah, okay, it's cool. They know you're there.